Since Pokemon began in 1995, it's gone on to become the highest grossing media franchise of all time. 340 million copies of the game sold, movies, TV shows, trading card games, and the ever-successful Pokemon Go. But now there is a brand new mobile Pokemon game set to try and continue that trend. Pokemon Masters was released today, and in case you're not aware of what it is, I'm here to get you caught up. Here are 5 things that you need to know about Pokemon Masters. Number 1, it is nothing like Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was firmly rooted in the VR experience, which meant it used your phone's camera to place Pokemon in the real world for you to catch. The emphasis was on travelling around on your map in your local area to try and catch as many Pokemon as possible. It was a great gimmick to begin with until people realised just how badly it ran away with your phone battery. Pokemon Masters is going to be a different experience, so unlike walking around real world locations and capturing Pokemon, the emphasis is going to be far more on a story mode and battling, which means you can do that from the comfort of your own couch. The game has you meeting up with characters across the history of the franchise, battling trainers one-on-one and in groups of 3, and even collecting badges to progress in the story. Number 2, you only get one Pokemon. Unlike with previous titles that allowed you to capture as many Pokemon as possible and create your own finely tuned team for any situation, Pokemon Masters allows you to have one Pokemon and focuses more on being a sync pair, which means your trainer and your Pokemon are going to act as one. But you do still have a battle team made up of 3 sync pairs, which means it's still important to balance the abilities on your team if you want to progress. Unfortunately, you don't get to pick what Pokemon you sync with. When you very first create your character, you'll be met with some fairly basic customizable options, and of course, you get Pikachu. Because of course you get Pikachu, who else would it be? Number 3, there is a brand new battle system. Something the developer DNA really wanted to brag about was the brand new 3 vs 3 real-time battle system. A move gauge tells you how much power you have to spend per move, and that is shared amongst your team, so it's still important to pick a strategy to decide which team member uses which move at which time. So there's no more turn-based button bashing until your opponent faints. You actually do need to use a strategy this time, and it's working pretty well. I actually enjoy how quickly the battles are. They're not as monotonous anymore. Good for you, DNA, you've done something right. Number 4, the game is full of microtransactions. There are 65 sync pairs available to collect in the game, and there are 2 ways that you can do that. You can either grind through the levelling process and collect them as you go, or you can jump into the Pokemon store and pay for gems and use those gems to basically scout for sync pairs, which means you can keep hitting the button and get as many sync pair drops as you like, if you can afford it. To get a new sync pair, it's going to set you back about 300 gems, and if you don't want to grind through the levels of the game and collect the gems like that, you want to pay for them, well, that's going to set you back anything from 99 pence up to over 50 quid, depending on how many you buy. There is a daily discount that you can perform a scout for a sync pair for just 100 gems, but it can't be the gems that you've obtained by playing the game, it has to be the gems that you've bought with your real life money in the Pokemon store. Yeah, that makes sense. As you can imagine, this has been met with a lot of mixed reviews. Some outlets are saying that it's really light on the microtransactions and you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Others are screaming that it's daylight robbery and that the way the game actually plays almost forces you to have to pay for the added extras if you want to progress. Personally, I've only been playing it a little bit. I can't see it yet. If I get to that stage, I don't know if I'll keep playing. I probably won't. I'm not really one for microtransactions. Last but not least, number 5, gacha systems are in play. In mobile game terms, it basically means a random drop from a pool of rewards with varying rarity. So, every mobile game ever. In order to make your team stronger, you want to upgrade your sync pairs from a 3-star to a 5-star, and you do that using star power-ups. How do you get these star power-ups? Well, you can either continue to play through the game for however long it takes, or, you guessed it, you can pay and you can play the odds. But it's definitely still a free-to-play game. Definitely still free. There is 100% no gambling involved in this whatsoever. Don't worry about it though, developer DNA are being responsible. There is a limit to how many gems you can get. It's capped off a measly 80,000. You can even set alerts to warn you if you've bought too many gems. So if you want to set an alert, it'll pop up, let you know that you're close to your threshold, and all you need to do is just swipe it away and continue to buy gems. Oh, and there's no refunds, so if you were dumb enough to let your kid play it on your mobile phone without setting any parental locks on it, and they finally hit that gem cap and £700 comes out your bank account, congratulations, you're not getting that money back. Welcome to the world of free-to-play mobile games, kids, where there's definitely nothing really for free. The game was already released in Canada and Singapore, but before its worldwide release today, it had over 5 million pre-downloads on iOS and Android. So what do you think? Have you downloaded it and given it a shot? Are you bothered by the microtransactions? Let us know in the comments below.